Welcome to the full guide on self-image. How to cure your anxiety, cure your insecurity, and finally become happy with yourself. To become comfortable in your own body. To become confident pursuing the things that you feel passionate about. To finally feel like you're not going to be a failure and allow your own brain to work with you to become successful in life. Shout out to you for watching this video. This is a low dopamine guide. So you're already in the top 1% of all viewers by watching this guide and finally pursuing your education. This is not like one of those normal self-improvement videos where I'm telling you a story and there's flashy cuts. This is unedited with the information straight to the point. So props to you. Watch this guide. If you struggle with feeling like you're not good enough, you feel like you're inferior to others, you're still doing the bad habits, junk food, porn, video games. You feel like you never succeed at anything you try. You struggle with feeling like you're a failure. You struggle with anxiety and overthinking. You have trouble connecting with people and making new friends. Or you struggle with status, attention, and respect from your friends, from your family, from your teachers, and quite frankly, from yourself. You view yourself as so low on the totem pole, and you lack that self-respect. You have these negative thoughts that fill your mind, self-hate, telling you you're not good enough. Well, this guide is for you. My promise to you is that at the end of this guide, you will have the tools to feel more confident, crush your anxiety and your insecurity, become comfortable in your own body, and start to naturally have more positive thoughts. Why should you listen to me? I was insecure, anxious, and had low self-esteem. I discovered self-improvement in 2020. Through countless hours of research, taking action, I've developed confidence, security, and high self-esteem. My self-improvement journey was really difficult. I had a lot of failures and successes. I tried a lot of things with no results at all, and I tried things that worked absolutely instantly. And I want to share those things with you because I viewed myself so terribly. I didn't like who I was. I had negative thoughts filling my brain every single day. When I came home from school, I would just smoke a bunch of weed to drown out my thoughts. I want to teach you how I got out of that rut, how I've become the person who I am today, how I did it, the step by step. So why you feel the way you do, the why you have the negative thoughts that you have, why you feel like you're a failure. It's all because of your self-image. And the self-image is the mental blueprint of who you are. Now, this may be hard to visualize consciously, but we all have a self-image buried in our subconscious brain down to every last detail. Meaning, somewhere deep within you, your brain has a perception of who you are. It has all of your internal beliefs about what you are capable of doing, about who you're able to talk to, about how charismatic you are, about how athletic you are, how smart you are, how successful you're going to be, if you're going to be a failure or not. Your brain has already determined all of these things for you, whether you know it or not. It's your self-image. So how is your self-image formed? It's formed through your internal belief systems. And your beliefs come from past experiences, successes, failures, humiliations, triumphs, and the external reactions to how we behaved. And most of this came from childhood. So the boy on the playground who had his first kiss at a young age, it started the positive reinforcement now that he has a girlfriend in ninth grade. Versus the guy who the girl rejected him on the playground, and then he ends up being closed off, feeling like girls don't like him, and ends up being unsuccessful all the way into his 20s. It comes from that belief that was formed at a young age from a child. The failures you've had, the external reactions, when people laughed at you for performing a certain way. And then you thought, well, that is not good. The tribe is rejecting me. I will not do that again. And you formed a belief that that sort of behavior is not good for you. Once a belief is constructed in your mind, it becomes fact, regardless of the logic behind the belief. So you may form a belief at a young age that you aren't good at school because you didn't do well on a few tests. And that becomes a fact in your mind. Whereas logically, The only way you get good at school is by how much you study and how effective you become at studying. It's a skill that you can develop. It's not something that is inherent to one person or another. But because you formed that belief at a young age that you weren't good at school, you will never become good at school unless you change the self-image. All actions, beliefs, and abilities are consistent with your self-image. You will act like the person you believe yourself to be. Your personality, behavior, and circumstances in life are consistent with your self-image. It may not feel this way, but everything you do in life is in line with the way that you view yourself. If you view yourself to be a star athlete, you will be able to become a star athlete. But if you view yourself as never being the athletic guy, you will never be able to become the athletic guy. It goes with everything in life. If you're in sales, and you view your cap as $5,000 per month, that is how much commission you will make. Even if you have the ability to do more, your brain will find a way to make you fail because you believe that your cap is $5,000. If you believe that you cannot talk to girls and you're not charismatic, every time you get into that situation, your brain will be overcome with anxiety and overthinking. It is keeping you in that belief that you are not charismatic and you can't talk to girls. But if the self-image was, I am charismatic, then you wouldn't feel anxiety. You would just be able to talk and present your true, authentic self because you'd be present in that moment and it'd be aligned with your self-image. So do you ever feel stuck? You feel like you can't make any progress. You've been doing all of the good habits, but self-improvement just feels like it doesn't fucking work for you. There's a reason for that. Because your self-image is the constraint of your abilities. Just like here, all actions, beliefs, and abilities will always be consistent with your self-image. So I'm going to illustrate this for you. Your self-image is this line right here. And you get on self-improvement and you start right here. You make progress, you make progress, you make progress, and you get to the self-image. And then what happens? Crash down. You relapse. You experience a rut. You go back on the porn, the video games, the junk food. But then you feel inspired, motivated. I'm gonna do more. I can do this. You start going back up, back up, back up, and you get back to that point, your self-image, you crash back down. Why do I keep relapsing? Why is self-improvement so difficult? Why can't I actually make progress past this point? Why do I always get stuck at the same spot? It's right here. It's your self-image. It keeps you stuck right there because internally, subconsciously, you do not believe that you can progress past that point. So the only way to do it is to change our self-image. So let's give you some more examples. Is this kid actually dumb? He just got an F on his paper. There's two ways that he could perceive himself. He could perceive himself as, I failed at this test. Or he could say, I am a failure. The kid who says, I am a failure, will actually believe that they are dumb and they cannot succeed at school, and this pattern will continue and continue as they grow older. The kid who says, I failed at this test, but I know I can do better, his self-image is that of someone who can improve themselves and who is smart, so he will study more. Because the kid who thinks he's a failure, he simply will not put in the work to do better because it is not consistent with his self-image of being a failure. Are we handsome or ugly? Now, if we thought we were ugly, would we have dressed up? Would we have gotten a haircut? Would we have groomed ourselves? Would we have gone to the gym that day? Would we have eaten healthy and then even had the confidence to go and stand on this rooftop bar and take pictures? Probably not. But all of us perceived ourselves to be handsome, and we did the things that handsome guys do. They present themselves well. They groom themselves. They go out and be confident and social and talk to people. See, the actions that we took in this picture were consistent with the self-image of us being handsome, confident guys. So your self-image can change, but it's not how you think. You may have tried positive self-talk, affirmations, thinking happy thoughts, but why doesn't any of this work? It's not consistent with your self-image. Simply telling yourself, I will get the girl, I will get the job, I am positive, throwing out all this random stuff into the universe. That's not how it works. Standing in the mirror and saying, I am good enough, it doesn't work. Positive thinking doesn't make a change because it's not consistent with who you believe at a core level. You have your goal striving brain. This is how it actually works. Our subconscious brain is always leading us in the direction of images that we've imagined or are a part of our self-image. This is called the goal mechanism. And the images are the end results that you will end up being at. Our goal mechanism is impersonal and will lead us to whatever goal image is present in our mind. Regardless if the goal image is positive or negative, the goal mechanism will lead you to that end result. If you have a negative self-image, if you perceive yourself to be a failure, your brain will always figure out ways to fail. It won't allow you to succeed because you truly do not believe it on a core level. But if your self-image is positive, if you feel like you are a winner, like success is inevitable if I just keep doing the work, then your brain will pull you to that end result. The key goal image is the ideal self-image. We achieve our ideal self-image by feeding the goal mechanism with mental images of the desired end result. The goal mechanism is a machine. If we feed it enough data, it will create the desired self-image. So, how do we feed the goal mechanism with our ideal self-image? Well, we have to create it. We have to visualize that end result, create the mental image with excruciating amounts of detail, and feed it into the machine. Our goal mechanism is like a computer. You feed it data, and it will process it and get you to the end result if you just allow it to work. So, how do we find our desired outcome? It starts with setting a vision. A vision is a clear goal of where you want to be. The goal mechanism won't work without a clear vision. This image in your mind will allow your subconscious to pull you there. So how do you establish a vision? It starts with asking yourself, what do you want? Where do you want to be? What things do you want? What people do you want around you? What house do you want to have? What are the color of the walls? What are the plants that you have in the place? What are the things that you do on a daily basis? What is the mental movie of you waking up, doing your entire morning routine, going through about your day, and then going to bed? What does that look like? Then what is the alchemy of self? The alchemy of self is actually who you are in your core being. What are your desired skills, beliefs, and traits of your future self? And then once you establish those things, it's all about constant reminders of where you want to go. Because the brain naturally gets distracted, but you need to constantly remind yourself to be aware of your desired outcome, and your goal mechanism will function to take you there. The way I remind myself is papers on the wall, the lock screen on my phone, and I keep a packet in my car, in my backpack, wherever I am that I can read over to remind me of where I am going. Here are some examples of my alchemy of self and my vision so you can use this as a framework to build your own. Here are the papers on my wall in Dallas. Relentless, awake, fearless, punctual, genius, powerful, classy. The desired character traits. I have a few more which are on my wall here, and I'll read them to you. Belief. I have extreme belief in myself. I'm a 10-figure entrepreneur. Perseverance. I never quit something worth doing. Hard work. Nikhil does the hard work every day, especially when he doesn't want to. These papers are on my wall so that I see them every day, and my subconscious is reminded of where I am going, and it will work with me to achieve that. My goals: 100 per month, 1K per month, 10K per month, 100K per month. I'm going to have 1,000 members in my school community paying $100. The habits that I perform on a daily basis will reinforce my self-image. Success is inevitable. As long as I'm goal-oriented, positive, aggressive, and intelligent, I will achieve it. Let's talk about the alchemy of self. Napoleon's up there. The only thing that mattered to Napoleon was the empire and growing the empire and defeating his enemies, crushing his enemies, instilling fear in his enemies. I'm building an empire. Steve Reeves. Steve Reeves is the example of peak aesthetics in my opinion. He was a man that Arnold Schwarzenegger looked up to, who he saw as an inspiration to get into bodybuilding. Perfect V-taper, perfect legs, perfect chest, serratus, amazing physique. Then I have a Sikh man, a warrior, reminding me to never forget where I came from, reminding me that I have a warrior spirit inside and I can always do what I want. And I have more of the material things that I want. The house on Lake Tahoe, the holiday home in Zermatt, the truck that I drive, the dock that I have extending onto the lake. These images are a constant reminder of the character traits, the beliefs, the things that I need to do to get there. Because it's not about actually having the empire, the physique, the warrior spirit, or any of these things. It's about what is the type of man who actually achieves those things and feeding it into my subconscious. Now, I've given you the alchemy of self and the vision. Let's put it into practice. Here are the 5 steps that actually work to improve your self-image. There's 3 types of visualization: future success, past success, and relaxation. And we have meditation and taking action on self-improvement. Let's go through each one and I'll tell you how it works. Future success visualization. Feed your subconscious. See, this is all about using the goal mechanism, using the vision, and using the alchemy of self. Your goal mechanism works like a self-guided missile. It receives data, processes the data, seeks feedback, and corrects course to an optimal trajectory. So essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to read your alchemy of self, look at the pictures that you have that are representing the type of person you're going to become to get those things. You're going to close your eyes and you're going to visualize your day. You're going to enter the cinema of the mind and see yourself getting out of bed, seeing the habits that you do, seeing the work that you do, seeing the relationship that you have. What does your house look like? What colors are the walls? What plants do you have? What pets do you have? What kind of relationships do you have? Is your family there? Do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a boyfriend? What do you do throughout the day? How do you feel? What is the emotion? Do you feel fulfilled? Are you accomplishing your purpose in life? What are your friendships like? Do you feel happy? Feel those emotions. Feel the success within you. Feel all of the people thanking you for the good work that you are doing. Envisioning your future success is the input. Your subconscious will start to process this and it'll start to change your self-image accordingly, because your brain cannot distinguish between vivid imagery visualization and reality. It perceives it to be the same thing. You can generate new experiences for your brain to incorporate into your self-image, to form new beliefs around, and then you'll be able to act like that person. You have these skills and the traits of that person because you believe yourself to be that person. The past success visualization. Instead of setting the vision and visualizing a day in the life, you're thinking about a moment in your life where you were successful. The picture I have here is me in the gym looking absolutely shredded, veins popping. The reason I have this picture because I remember on that day, I felt so confident. I felt so secure in my own body. I felt absolutely fearless. I was cold approaching girls. I felt like I could accomplish anything that I ever wanted to in the world. To truly affect your self-image, you close your eyes and you visualize that moment. Visualize the positive feelings that you had, how confident you felt, how secure you felt, how present you felt. What was the smells? What were the sounds? What were the people doing around you? How were they looking at you? How did you perceive yourself? Playing that image in your mind as vivid as it possibly could be, remembering that moment. It gives you another experience that reinforces a positive self-image. You may not have a success as drastic as the one that I'm showing you here. You may think, Nikhil, I don't have a success. I've never done anything that powerful in my life. But you have. All it takes is something as simple as tying your shoes. If you're able to tie your shoes successfully, that was a success. That was evidence that you are a winner in life. Whatever it is, you passed the driving test. You tied your shoes. You were able to cut the vegetable correctly. You have done something successfully in your life. I want you to remember that moment. Visualize it in as much vivid detail as you can, because your brain will start to change. Your brain will start to view yourself in a more positive light, like you are a winner, like success is inevitable because you've done it so many times in the past. Any one of us can envision a million different successes we've had in our life. Maybe it's not the drastic thing. Maybe you still get rejected by every girl you ever talk to. Maybe you've never done well on a test. It doesn't matter because you are successful. You just have to remember it and visualize it. The relaxation visualization. This is how you release all of your anxieties and insecurities. Through the future and the past success visualizations, we've started to reinforce our positive image of ourself. But you still may feel anxious and insecure. So this is how we release it. It's a scientific fact that it is impossible to feel anxiety or insecurity if your body is completely relaxed. Think about the times where you're feeling anxious, where your heart starts to beat, where you feel like you can't really get a full deep breath, where you feel like people are going to judge you based off of what you say, judge you based off of what you look. You feel like everyone's looking at you, like you're the center of attention, and they're all going to suddenly turn and point at you and laugh at you. When you have those feelings, your muscles are holding extreme tension. So we have to learn how to release that. Relaxation visualization comes from remembering a point in your life where you felt completely relaxed. Maybe you were sitting at the beach. Maybe you were sitting around the dinner table with your family. Maybe you were just like me, sitting in the mountains. This is a picture from my life not too long ago. This is my tent right here. I remember waking up in the morning, putting my feet in the sand. I just brewed a fresh cup of coffee. I heard the wind rustling, the birds chirping, the sun shining, feeling so warm on my face. Looking out at the mountains that are still covered in snow. Mount McGee, Mono Jim Peak, Mount Morrison, Laurel Mountain behind this tree. Some of my favorite mountains in the world, in an area I've spent so much time in, where I just felt at peace, an overwhelming sense of calming. I felt at home. Visualizing those moments for yourself will make you feel so much better. You'll be able to breathe deeper, release your tension, and therefore release your anxiety. The last thing to improving your mentality, to improving your self-image is meditation. The single goal of meditation is to bring us into the moment, to take us out of living inside of our own head, to take us out of living in our own world to living in the real world, to being present with the things around you, to seeing what the people around you are saying, to experiencing life as it presents itself to you. So the way you meditate, it's a simple 4-step process. You close your mind and focus on your breath. In through the nose, out through the nose. Focusing on that inhale, feeling the air, and then focusing on the exhale. Doing that as long as you can. But naturally, because of the way that we've grown up, because of our phones, technology, social media, society, constant external stimulation bombarding us on a daily basis, your mind will begin to wander. And that's totally okay. Because the brain is like a river flowing of thoughts, and thoughts naturally come down the river. The only thing I want you to do is to notice that your mind has wandered. Don't be upset with yourself. Don't feel like you failed at the task. Just acknowledge it. Tell yourself, okay, I had this thought. And then bring your focus back to the breath. Now we're back at square one. You're focusing on the breath, building your brain's ability to focus, building your brain's ability to be present in the moment. You're actually rewiring your brain. This is a skill that you are developing. Because when you are fully present in the moment, it is impossible to feel anxious. Anxiety comes from you thinking in your own head, not being present. So the skill of meditation itself is 2 things. It's focusing on your breath for as long as you can, and then bringing the focus back to the breath as soon as you realize your mind has wandered. Now, the more cycles you go through is another XP point on your skill of meditation. So the more times you notice your mind has wandered, and the faster you bring it back to your breath, and then the longer that you focus on your breath, the more that you level up, the more that you will be able to become more positive, more present, less anxious, and more confident. On top of just being more happy. Onto the self-improvement. I've told you how to work through the mental side. That is the 80%. That is where you're going to get most of the gains. Teaching yourself to view yourself as a winner. Teaching yourself to feel the vision, feel where you're going, and feed the data into your subconscious so that you get there. But part of reframing our self-image is also the actions that we do today. It's not all about visualizing who we're going to be in 5 years. We need to do the work today to get there. Physical self-improvement is encompassed by exercise, nutrition, sleep, and just getting sunlight. Exercising 4 to 5 days a week. Whether you're a man, girl, dog, child, grandpa, grandma, you should be resistance training 4 to 5 days a week. Lifting heavy things, because it's going to make you feel happy. It's going to make you feel good about yourself. It's a goal that you're crushing. You're getting stronger mentally and physically. Nutrition. Cutting out all of the stuff that you eat that frankly isn't food. Cookies, candies, Twinkies, muffins, whatever it is. Stuff with exorbitant amounts of sugar. Foods that have inflammatory seed oils that keep you in a perpetual state of being bloated and holding on to extra water weight. So you think that you're fat, but it's actually because the food that you're eating is poisoning you. Just stick to one ingredient foods. I'm not going to tell you to be so extreme and get on a keto carnivore diet like I am, but just stick to one ingredient at a time. Stray away from the stuff that comes in this like disgusting plastic packaging. Stick to the healthy foods, the meats, the vegetables, the fruits, yogurt, nuts, the stuff that is good for you. Sleeping 8 to 10 hours per night. Not bringing your phone into the bed, putting it on full brightness, and then complaining that you can't go to sleep. Because it's actually crazy how much this impacts your self-image, because only the person that loves his body enough will give it the sleep that it requires. But if you hate yourself, if you think of yourself as a failure, then you'll feel no qualms in depriving yourself, depriving your body of the sleep that it requires to actually be successful. But as you start to view yourself as a winner, as successful, you will give your body the sleep that it requires. Sunlight. Do you ever feel like you're inside all the time? You haven't gotten much sunlight and you just feel like a goblin, like your body is just shriveling up. You feel like your mental health is subsiding by the second. Sunlight is one of the greatest things that you can give yourself to make yourself feel better. Get outside, get sunlight at least once a day, if not twice. Mental self-improvement, dopamine detox. Social media is frying your brain. Notifications are destroying your focus. TV and movies are distracting your subconscious from pulling you towards the end vision. The dopamine detox is very simple. Remove yourself from social media for just a week. 1 week, turn off all notifications and put the apps off the home screen. 1 week, turn off notifications from your text messages. Go on Do Not Disturb. 1 week, turn on grayscale on your phone. 1 week. Your brain will start to change so much. You will have instant results on happiness, on presence. You'll become a better person because of it. Gratitude. Every morning I wake up with an absolute smile because I am so grateful for everything I have in my life. I tell myself I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful that I get to wake up and be a YouTuber. I'm grateful for the person that made my equipment, my laptop, my microphone, my camera. I'm so grateful because without any of these things, I couldn't be doing what I'm doing. I'm grateful for you, the viewer who's watching this, who's taking the steps to educate themselves to improve their lives. I'm so grateful. This makes you so much happier. The last thing is very simple to habit tracker. I'll show you mine right here. So I have the date and then I have the boxes tracker. So I have cold shower, meditation, eat the frog, plan. It's very simple, and I just mark X's when I've done the thing. Meditation, cold shower, very obvious. I've already told you about meditation. Cold shower increases dopamine, makes you feel happier, makes it easier to do hard work. Eat the frog is doing the single hardest task that you have first thing in the morning. Getting it out of the way. Giving yourself some momentum. Making yourself feel accomplished. And then planning. I plan the day that I have the night before so that I don't need to think about it. I simply can just do the things. Now, I've told you about the 5 things that you can do to actually make real change in your life. But in order to feel better, you must do the work. It won't just happen for you. You need to put these things into practice to actually get some real results. Charlie Munger says, to get what you want, you must deserve what you want. The world is not yet a crazy enough place to reward a bunch of undeserving people. If you do not do the work, you will not deserve what you want, and then you will not get the reward of feeling positive, of feeling confident, feeling comfortable in your own body, not having anxiety, insecurity, not feeling inferior. If you just do the work, you will get there. There it is. Those are the 5 steps that actually work to improve your self-image. The future success visualization, past success visualization, relaxation, meditation, and take action on self-improvement. Dopamine detox, gratitude, habit tracker, exercise, nutrition, sleep, sunlight. My promise to you at the beginning of this video was at the end of this guide, you will have the tools to feel more confident, crush your anxiety and insecurity, become comfortable in your own body, and naturally have positive thoughts. And I did that for you. That's the end of this guide. If you want more from me, if you want to hear from me apart from YouTube, sign up for my emails. I'll give you weekly tips on building confidence, self-improvement, mental health. Links will be in the description. I really applaud you for listening all the way to the end. Have a good day.